Just imagine. You spend weeks feeling like no one's really there for you. At first, it feels like it's just in your head. But slowly, your body starts to change. Your heart beats differently. Your stress hormones go crazy, and even your immune system begins to weaken. So here's the big question. What really happens inside our body when we feel lonely for too long? In this videocast, we're going to uncover the hidden ways loneliness damages both your mind and your body. Join the Science for Grandpa channel. Let's go!
Today, we're peeling back the curtain on something many of us feel but maybe don't take seriously enough as a health issue: chronic loneliness.
Yeah, it's often just brushed off, isn't it? Like, oh, I'm just feeling a bit down. But our mission today is really to show you, based on the sources we've looked at, what happens when that feeling sticks around.
Becomes chronic.
Exactly. It's not just emotional. The research shows it takes a serious biological and cognitive toll. It's a genuine health threat.
Okay, so let's nail down the key definition right away. Our sources stress this point a lot. We're not talking about just being alone physically.
No, that distinction is absolutely critical. Being alone is, just a state. You could be working from home, perfectly content. Loneliness, that's different.
It's a feeling.
It's that subjective feeling that no one really gets me, or I don't have the connection I need. It's the gap between the relationships you have and the ones you want.
Right, the perceived loneliness. You can feel it in a packed stadium, can't you, if you feel like nobody there truly connects with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's where the danger lies, according to these studies. When that feeling persists, becomes chronic. Well, it's like your body's alarm system gets stuck on high alert.
Which has real physical and mental consequences.
Huge consequences. It triggers these damaging effects.
And that brings us to the biology. This is where it gets, well, really fascinating and maybe a bit scary. The body doesn't just feel sad about chronic loneliness.
No, it reads it as danger, as a constant threat, almost like there's always a predator nearby.
Because historically, connection meant survival.
Precisely. We evolved needing the tribe for safety. So chronic disconnection flips that ancient stress switch and keeps it flipped. It's sustained pressure, biologically speaking.
Okay, sustained pressure. Let's talk hormones. Cortisol, right? The stress hormone. Short bursts are useful, get you out of trouble.
Yeah, fight or flight, totally normal.
But what happens when that alarm just keeps ringing? For months, maybe years.
Well, the sources are very clear. Chronic high cortisol is toxic. It starts to break things down. You see persistent high blood pressure because your blood vessels are always a bit constricted.
Okay.
Sleep gets completely messed up. Your immune system starts to weaken because it's constantly on edge. Even digestion goes haywire because the body's prioritizing survival over normal maintenance.
It's like running the engine in the red constantly.
Exactly like that. It's just not sustainable.
So the body's treating this like a siege. What about inflammation? We hear a lot about chronic inflammation. How does that fit in? Is the body attacking itself?
That's a great way to put it, actually. It's called chronic low-grade inflammation. Essentially, your immune system's defense cells, the white blood cells, they become overactive.
Why?
They're constantly expecting some kind of physical injury or threat because of the stress signals.
Yeah.
But the injury never comes. So they release these inflammatory chemicals anyway.
Which sounds bad, like internal friendly fire.
It is. Over time, those chemicals, which are meant for short-term healing, start damaging healthy tissues. It's not a quick wound. It's slow, constant erosion.
Oh, okay.
And that inflammation, that's the key mechanism the sources point to. It's the why linking loneliness directly to serious diseases.
Like heart problems.
Exactly. Heart disease, diabetes, even some cancers. It's the biological pathway.
Okay, let's talk specifics then. The physical toll. Starting with the heart. The numbers I saw were pretty staggering.
They really are. The research consistently shows lonely individuals have around a 29% higher risk of developing heart disease and a significantly higher risk of stroke, too.
Wow. 29%.
Yeah. Think about what that constant cortisol and inflammation are doing to your arteries day in, day out. It's like accelerated aging for your cardiovascular system.
And there's that other layer, too, the practical one mentioned in the sources. It's quite sad, actually.
The lack of a safety net.
Yeah. If someone who is chronically lonely does have a heart attack or stroke, they might not get help quickly. there might be no one there to notice to call emergency services.
It's a terrible combination. The biological risk compounded by the social isolation risk.
Definitely. Okay, beyond the heart, the immune system. You said it gets weakened?
Weakened, exhausted,
Yeah.
and confused is a good way to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
That constant stress and inflammation just wear it down.
Confused how?
Well, one source used a great analogy, like tired, discouraged soldiers. Sometimes they overreact, that's the inflammation we talked about. Other times, when a real threat shows up, like a virus, they underreact.
So you get sick more easily.
Yes. Lonely individuals generally don't fight off infections as effectively. And importantly, their response to things like vaccines can be weaker too. The immune system is just too depleted to mount a strong defense.
It's amazing how deep this goes. And then the one system needed to fix everything else. Sleep. You can't recover if you can't rest properly.
Absolutely fundamental. Chronic loneliness really disrupts what's called sleep architecture. People find it harder to fall asleep.
Tossing and turning.
Right. And they wake up more often during the night. Crucially, they spend less time in those really deep restorative sleep stages.
Why is that deep sleep so important?
That's prime time for physical repair. Your organs recover, your muscles rebuild. And critically, your brain clears out metabolic waste, kind of like a nightly cleanup crew.
Oh.
If that process is constantly short-circuited by poor sleep,
Yeah.
your body can't heal properly. And that directly hits memory, mood, your ability to think clearly.
Which I imagine makes it even harder to deal with the loneliness itself.
Exactly. It feeds back into the problem, which is a perfect lead-in, actually, to the cognitive side of things. The brain itself starts to change.
So moving from the body's systems to the brain's processing, the constant stress starts this downward spiral.
A really damaging loop, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When your brain is constantly bathing in stress hormones, your higher-level functions start to suffer. We see much higher risks for clinical depression, for anxiety disorders,
Makes sense.
but also more basic things. Your ability to focus, to retain memories, even your decision-making skills. They all tend to weaken.
And for older adults, the sources mentioned a really worrying link.
Yes, a significantly increased risk for developing dementia and Alzheimer's disease. The connection is becoming quite clear in the research.
Can we actually see these changes, like in brain scans?
We can. Studies show alterations in what's called the brain's default mode network, the DMN. That's the network active when you're, say, reflecting, thinking about yourself, daydreaming.
Kind of your internal world network.
Sort of, yeah. And in chronically lonely people, that network activity looks less synchronized, less coherent.
And there was that analogy, wasn't there, about dimming lights?
Yeah, I thought that was really evocative. Loneliness makes the brain dim its lights, like a lamp fading in a big empty room. It suggests a loss of that internal richness and clarity.
If the part of your brain dealing with self-reflection isn't quite working right, wow.
It makes your inner world feel maybe more confusing, less vibrant. And that feeds right into what the sources call the vicious cycle.
Ah, the snake curling tighter. This is where the feeling drives behaviors that make everything worse.
Exactly. Think about it. You're lonely, you're stressed, you're sleeping poorly, you probably have less energy.
So you move less, exercise falls off.
Right. You might turn to coping mechanisms that aren't healthy, maybe more drinking, smoking, comfort eating. They give a moment's relief, but add to the physical damage long term.
And the social withdrawal must accelerate it, too.
Hugely. Your brain, feeling under threat, tells you to retreat. So you might spend more time on screens, which gives a feeling of connection, but it's often low quality.
Less real interaction.
And you actively start avoiding social situations that might actually help. And critically, the sources point out, people in this state often visit doctors less frequently.
Oh, wow. So they're cut off from potential help just when they need it most for the physical issues the loneliness is causing.
Precisely. It's a tragic loop. The symptoms of loneliness, the tiredness, the low mood, the anxiety they grew, they make it incredibly hard to do the very things that could break the cycle, like reaching out or engaging.
You feel bad, so you withdraw. Withdrawing makes you feel lonelier, which ramps up the stress hormones. Stress hormones damage your body, making you feel even worse, and round it goes.
It's a powerful feedback mechanism.
Okay, so this is clearly a serious biological process with a tough cycle to break, but there is good news, right? The sources offer ways to fight back.
Yes, definitely. There are concrete steps you can take to soften these effects, maybe even reverse some of them. And the emphasis isn't just on racking up contacts.
It's about feeling understood, right? That quality piece.
Exactly. That's the core feeling to target. The strategies aim to break the cycle at different points, tackling the mood, the physical inertia, the avoidance behavior.
Okay, let's walk through them. 6 main strategies seem to come up. Number 1.
Stay connected, and this doesn't have to be overwhelming. Small, consistent steps are key.
Like what?
Phoning a friend you haven't spoken to in a while. Sending a meaningful text. Maybe joining one small group based on an interest. Quality, not quantity. Fighting that urge to pull away.
Okay. Number 2 sounds like it tackles the physical side directly. Move your body.
Yeah, this is huge. Physical activity releases endorphins, natural mood boosters, and stress fighters. Even just a regular walk can significantly lower those stress hormones and calm the nervous system. It directly counteracts the physical stagnation.
Makes sense. 3. Practice calmness. Turning down that internal alarm bell.
Exactly. This means actively using techniques like meditation or simple deep breathing exercises, mindfulness practices, things that are proven to soothe the nervous system and reduce that damaging cortisol response.
Taking conscious control. 4. Do meaningful activities.
This is about finding purpose outside of the feeling of loneliness itself. Things like volunteering, maybe picking up a creative hobby, art, music, or even learning something completely new.
How does that help?
When you're engaged in something that feels meaningful to you, that internal focus on "I am lonely" tends to naturally fade into the background. Purpose is a powerful antidote.
Got it. 5. Seek professional help. This feels important to stress.
Absolutely crucial. If the loneliness has really spiraled into significant depression or anxiety, professional help like therapy or counseling is necessary. It provides targeted tools to challenge negative thoughts and rebuild coping strategies. It's not a sign of weakness. It's essential healthcare in this situation.
Okay. And the last one, number 6. Join communities.
This is about actively seeking out groups where you share something, a hobby, an interest, a class, clubs, local groups, anything.
Even though that might feel really hard at first because of the withdrawal instinct.
Especially because it feels hard. It directly confronts the avoidance. Building new, genuine connections based on shared interests is really the ultimate way to address that perceived lack of understanding. You have to put yourself in situations where connection can happen.
So wrapping this up, the big takeaway from this deep dive, for me at least, is that loneliness isn't just a mood. It's a physical state.
It's a direct physiological threat. We've seen how it damages the heart, messes with the immune system, even changes how your brain works and remembers things.
It needs to be treated seriously, like any other chronic health condition.
Absolutely. It demands proactive steps.
Which leads us to a final question for you, the listener, to think about. Remembering that loneliness is fundamentally the feeling that nobody here understands who I am. Which of those 6 strategies we just discussed feels like it would give you the deepest sense of being truly understood, regardless of how many people are physically around you right now?
And maybe here's a final thought to mull over after we finish. The sources make it clear. The real biological harm comes less from just being physically isolated and more from that chronic internal perception of emptiness, of not being gotten by anyone. So the long-term challenge, perhaps, isn't just about filling your calendar or adding contacts. The real healing might come from working to dismantle that feeling, focusing on the quality of connection, and actively seeking out those people or places where you feel genuinely seen and understood. That shift in focus could be fundamentally protective for your health.
Now you know, loneliness isn't just about feeling sad or left out. It's a silent stressor that messes with your brain, weakens your immunity, and can even shorten your lifespan. So if you care about your health, don't ignore the power of connection. Even small conversations, sharing a laugh, or reaching out to someone you trust can make a huge difference. I'm glad you spent this time with me in this videocast. Before you go, don't forget to like this video. Share it with someone who needs to hear this. And of course, hit that subscribe button for more science-backed insights.